Welcome to Basketballheadzz Live. I'm your host, Glenn Pooh Harding. And tonight, we are discussing and celebrating the amazing week from Jaquann Carlos. You know, the Thomas Jefferson star. And we also want to give a big salute to Brooklyn Collegiate star Tahron for his amazing job during the week as well. Hey, it's going to be a crazy show, so sit back and enjoy. All right? Let's start the show.
Y'all ready? Yes. You have just stepped into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
I'm just here to give big salute to my guy, Jaquann Carlos, for his amazing week, man. Oh, man, listen. If you guys haven't known what was going on, or you guys, been under a rock, he's been killing. I'm talking about just putting on the show. 51, 73, 92, and 90. Crazy. And then, to top it off, my guy Tahron from Brooklyn Collegiate came in and had 73 with a triple-double. Crazy. I think it was a quadruple-double. 73, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 10 steals. Absolutely bonkers. Now, we could talk about who they played against, the competition. I don't want to hear none of that, all right? How many of us have played against weak competition and said, today, I'm going to get 30 and don't get 30? Well, I'm going to get 40. I'm going to get 50 on these guys and really don't reach it. You may get 44, 49, 47. Now, there have been many players have scored 50 and 60 points. We're not saying that. Right? But then again, they weren't put in a situation like these kids had to go through. This traumatizing moment that they had to go through. I think we forgot about that. I think we forgot about kids thinking about their future and having their future put on hold because there was no season. I could imagine being one of those kids, sitting back knowing that I put in all that work and watch all my friends do the same thing I did to move on and go to college, and I might not have that chance. Let that sink in. Now that it's sunk in, you understand. A 6-game season? They didn't even know when they was going to play. Remember, we did a show before. We talked about they was going to have a schedule handed out to them on the 15th. Never happened. They got it on the 21st of May. That Friday. Then was forced to play against teams they never even played against before. So I can just imagine they're looking at the schedule like, for real? We got to play against them? Why? Why are we not playing against our regular competition that we did in the past? So we can go out with a bang. Now, I'm thinking, I'm a high school coach, and I played the game. So I'm thinking on both sides, right? My kids may be shortchanged. There's some kids on my squad that may have scholarships. There might be a kid on my team that don't have a scholarship. Or my star player may be going into his next level of competition having some questions about his game. We don't know what's going on or what's the dynamics. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I know if I was Bud, I'm sitting down telling my players, we're going to go out with a bang. I'm telling my star player, Jaquann Carlos, it was out of my hands. But what you could do with these last 6 games, you can make it memorable. You could do something that years from now, you can sit back and say, you know what? During those years of the pandemic, when my high school career was almost threatened for me not to finish, I put on a scoring exhibition during the whole week that may never be matched again. So, with saying that, let's do this and give my guy a round of applause for all that he did. We're going to do that. Salute, JC. Now, this is not to knock anybody who made a comment. There was a lot of comments down. How does his team feel about it? Where was this? How many assists did he have? Listen, we do so much questioning, so much investigating on ourselves, we don't give each other our flowers because we want to investigate to see whether if they're worthy of getting their flowers. I'm going to keep it 100. The highest I ever scored in the game was 54. I think I missed like 2 shots, and I still only had 54. I went into the game saying I'm going to hit 40 today because I felt hot. I got 54. It wasn't 73 or 90 or 92. I was far short of that. Now, if you scored more than 60 points in 4 games in a row, come on and holler at me. I'm here. Let's talk. I want to hear about it. I want to hear the details. I want to know how you felt in that moment during that week of having 60, 65, 70, and 80. If you did that, holler at me. Now, on that same note, my guy Tooth over at Brooklyn Collegiate, he slid me some. He said, yo, G, kudos to what Jaquann Carlos is doing at Jefferson. But my guy tonight, 73, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 10 steals. I'm going, yo, this is crazy. Now again, the competition probably wasn't on the same level. But listen, we all put on our shorts and, string up our sneakers and we go out there to play. Is it my fault that my guy is scoring so many points? It's like we get this participation, too many participation trophies. That's for somewhere else. High school basketball in New York City, mano a mano. Once you get on that court, you got to hold your own no matter what level. Now, if the PSAL put those games together, we got to go out there and play as if we playing somebody on our level. Because what would the news be if we heard that Jaquann got 50 dropped on him, Jefferson lost, or they got blown out by a school we never heard of? What would have been the talk then? Yo, Black, what's up, Black? Let's talk. You scared to come on? It's your time now. We can talk about it. What's up? I love the comment, fam. And it's not to come at anybody who made these comments about the young guy. I loved it. I love it. I'm just saying, instead of investigating, we should just be putting out flowers and saying, damn, young man, incredible job. What would be his memories in a 6-game season during his senior year? What are you going to remember? How so many people got sick and they passed away and they died? That's going to be your only memories? That's what we want these young kids to remember? We want them to remember the trauma? Facts. Facts. Yes. BG is so real, man. Like this is continuous. This is like, I just look at it as if I'm in that situation. Here I'm one of the top players in the state, and I can't even play my senior season. I get to watch college guys play on TV. I get to watch the pros play on TV, but yet I can't play. I could just imagine what those kids was feeling. It's sad what the PSAL has done. But then, you know what our kids do? They took the water and they made lemonade. They took those grapes and they made wine. That's what they did. So now, when he's in college and he's sitting back, thinking about his senior year, and he had other guys from other states talking about their senior year and what they did, he said, you know what? In 4 games, I averaged like 80 points. Tahron could say, I had 73, 10 steals, 10 assists, 10 rebounds. No matter what the competition level. Facts. Facts. Yo, BG, you can come if you want. You can come on if you want. I love to hear your commentary.
Sure. 100%. I had put a hold on, let me turn the TV down. I had put a post up yesterday about it, and you know, the thing that hurt me is that, you know, people a lot of times we as I'm an advocate. I'm a youth advocate first. You know what I mean?
Me too.
I'm about the youth. You know what I'm saying? Everything I do in my life, I dedicated my life to youth. That's my work. You understand what I'm saying? Which is not work because I love it.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of times people misconstrue our words, and they think that when people voice an opinion, they make it towards that is hate instead of it being words to digest and to you know, to understand. You know what I mean? I worked with these kids all year. You know, Tahron Allen, Randy Crosby. They was a part of our academy, Be Great, Isaiah Whitehead Academy, all pandemic. When they coaches couldn't even get them in the gym, I had them in the gym. When they parents couldn't get them in the gym, we gave them the service to the gym and work out and get better, mentally, physically, and you know, to mentor them outside of just basketball. So salute to them. You know what I mean? It's amazing when somebody can conquer those things, especially when you never achieved that. You know, those are things that you know those are things that you always will remember, right?
Yeah.
So again, I'm not gonna revisit what I said, but I just want people to understand that we have to understand that we have to do better at preparing our kids for the next steps of their lives and preparing them for the next level versus being content with mediocrity. You know what I mean? And not saying you don't take away nobody's performance, you don't take away what nobody done. But when you trying to get to the next level, there's a next level of training, there's a next level of preparation, there's a next level of maturity that has to be brought to the table. And Until you develop that, and until you have that in your resume, you won't understand it. I have over 100 plus kids that I sent to college for free. I have over 20 plus guys that played pro basketball through my tutelage and through what I've done. So I never wanted what I said for guys to take it and misconstrue it as I was taking away from the kids. But I always want people to understand that you can't always look at things through the lens. You got to see things beyond the lens. You understand what I'm saying? And we have to make sure that we holding the powers that be accountable for our kids' success. Because 2, 3 years from now, you have to you're gonna come back and revisit these conversations, these things that happen, and you're gonna might say to yourself, "Well, damn, were those kids challenged? Were those kids put in position to strive for more and be better and be greater?" Um, and that's all, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but and I say this too, right? The kids was put in those situations. The coaches don't make their schedules,
Right. And
right?
I think those coaches did a good job. Like at the end of the day, you want to give those kids a season, right? But some certain coaches chose not to. South Shore chose not to have a season. Wings Academy chose not to have a season. Boys and girls chose not to have a season because of those things. Because the PSAL didn't allow the best of the best to really compete against each other. You understand what I'm saying? And for them to ultimately play for something. You know what I mean? Because those kids should have had a chance to play for a championship. The year before that, when the pandemic happened, we was in St. John's dancing. I'm one of them. I coached at Canarsie High School. We was there at the Elite Eight, getting ready to dance, and those kids got that taken away from them. So again, it was never to take away from a kid's accomplishment. It was always to uplift the kids of what they're doing. But if we settle for mediocrity and we don't challenge ourselves to do more and challenge the PSAL to do more, what are we doing? Because if you look at it, more than 3/4 of the PSAL kids don't go to college. More than 3/4 of the PSAL kids don't go to four-year universities. Most of the PSAL kids don't graduate that play PSAL basketball. So people want to say, why not talk about this and not talk about that? But one thing goes with the other. It's hand in
Mm-hmm.
hand. It's hand in hand. So at the very most, the minimum, you have to be able to talk about the ugly when you glorify the good. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh no, I get that. I get that. But like I said, I'm a protector of kids,
No, for
and
sure.
like
We all are. We
we've
all
been
are. Those
working
kids
with
been a
kids
part
for
of
the
our
longest,
academy.
man. Right? So when I see those things, more when I see more of the questioning than of the celebration, then I have to say to myself, "Wow, where's this coming from?"
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Because it's important for us to stick behind our kids because, as we can see, the PSL don't give a flat, right? Because
The PSA don't give a.
they
I'm
had
gonna
a
go. I'm gonna go a
four-game
step further.
tournament,
The
no
coaches don't
playoff,
care
and he
about
just
that.
said, "All right, take that and eat it."
I'm gonna give you a step further. Some of the high school coaches don't care nothing about it. When we did
Oh,
our
look,
basketball,
bro,
when we did
that's
our
a
basketball,
whole
when we
different
did our
show.
basketball academy, when we did our basketball academy, you think one coach reached out to Isaiah Whitehead and his family, or myself, and said and volunteered to offer their services to help us, whether physically, financially, or mentally, to mentor these kids? Nobody did that. So I commend everything about that. I celebrate all of those things. Those kids, again, are our kids. Those kids came out of our academy. Those kids, we sat there, cried, mentored, talked, yelled at, cursed at, screamed at those kids when they had nothing. When those kids didn't have a gym to go to.
And a
So
lot of them,
again,
when you talk to them, and it's like, "Yo, coach, that last year traumatized me," and
yeah,
and you start to hear these kids use those words, and I'm saying to myself, that I didn't even think about it like that, like from that perspective. All the stuff that they saw, experienced, family members having their childhood robbed a little bit.
yeah,
We
it's
have no idea what a
what they
lot of
went
these
through.
kids go through.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I think basketball saves lives, right? We say that
Yeah.
so so kind of so kind of nonchalant without understanding that it goes beyond just saving lives on a gun violence or physical, right? But mentally, basketball puts you in a space to where it saves you from all of the things that you're going through on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? So you
Facts.
have to be grateful to have basketball. Like think about summer ball. Think about all the tournaments that's about to happen that just give people a peace of mind to go watch a basketball game for free and kind of just take away from the daily struggles that they're going through, right? So basketball is very much bigger than just a game. You know what I mean? And to have those things celebrated, like you said, we have to do that. We got to get behind. We have to get behind the youth and those kids because if you don't, then you take away ultimately something that they always wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we didn't have a season, right? And our league that we play in, they, put it off to next year, which is cool.
Right.
So we gave our kids a 2-on-2 tournament in the school.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, these guys were so excited. It was just like game day. It clicked back. And me and
Yeah.
my guy T, we would just sit back saying, like, they needed this. As
Nah, for
small
sure.
as small as it was, because we play a lot of games, right? But as
Yeah.
small as that little 2-on-2 tournament was, they appreciated that.
I think the pandemic made everybody kind of appreciate the game a lot more. You know, on all spectacles. You know, the players, the coaches, the people that run events. You know, I think it helped people realize that it can be taken from you that quick. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? So it's like don't play around. We was coming up there and say don't play around with your food. You know what I mean? But like you can't play around, with your food because if you play around with your food, you're gonna be hungry. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And that's kind of where these kids' mindsets is back at now. And it's dope, man. It's dope to see, man. The beauty of basketball being appreciated and celebrated, and most importantly, what I like, man, and I love it in New York is that these kids are behind each other. You know what I'm saying? It's competitive, but at the same time, they celebrating each other. You know what I mean? I think it's trickling down from the NBA, and it's good, man, because sometimes I was talking to somebody today, like our peers don't acknowledge each other enough.
Right.
If
Yep.
I'm your brother and I'm Basketballheadzz brother and we support each other, I should be able to tell you, man, you're doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? Keep up the good work, man. Like that last interview you did was great. Like people don't understand what those words sometimes do or carry over, to your ultimate success.
Nah, I agree with you so much, man. I think a lot of time our ego gets in the way. And a lot of times, you know, when you know who you are as a man, it's easy for you to do that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah,
the same way you always come on and you show love, it's just natural. It's not forced. You do it in real life. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy when you see the balance. And, just on a personal note, fam, like I saw my guy, Jeffrey, yeah,
oh yeah,
your
yeah,
brother
yeah,
Low, right?
yeah, yeah,
I didn't see him in person, but I saw him on Facebook, and I was excited. I was like, "Yo, little bro, call me. What up? I'm so proud of you." Now I remember that little guy, coming up in our school from a freshman all the way to a
yeah.
senior. We just graduated some kids. They're gonna graduate Friday, and just having that moment and seeing those kids. And I guess I was in my feelings today, seeing our kids grow up and what they
Right,
go through, right? And then
right.
we want to celebrate that,
No, for
right? And I
sure.
guess
You want to
those
celebrate
people who
that.
aren't as close to kids as you and I are,
They don't understand that.
they don't
They,
understand that.
so you gotta understand like they don't understand that, and they don't understand that that's our reward. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like sometimes I tell people you can't put a price value on the work that we do. Sometimes the paychecks we get, you know, aren't my fault about that. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's the blessing. Like That's the reward when you see a kid walk down the aisle and graduate, or you see a kid get accepted to a college. That's the reward, man. Because our youth are going through a lot, man. A lot of them are getting killed. A lot of them are going to jail. A lot of them, are just dropping out of school. A lot of them are, having babies where they gotta, take care of their responsibilities. So it's a lot of things that are happening to where you gotta make sure, you're not too big and too prideful to be emotional, with these kids. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what tomorrow holds, man. We lost a lot of young men last year, during the
Yes,
pandemic.
yes,
You know what I'm saying? A
yeah,
lot of young men that didn't make it, that didn't see, the next phase of their life. So you have to be celebrate them. You have to make sure you tell them you love them and care about them, and you have to also give them that tough love. You know what I'm saying? So me, I don't know, maybe I'm from the old school, but I give tough love. You know what I'm saying? Like all my
Ask
kids.
Jeffrey, he'll tell you. Ask Jeffrey, he'll tell you.
Yeah, yeah, man. So
Yeah, yeah,
to me, tough love. Now I tell people you gonna get your sugar sometime, but I gotta give you your salt too. You know what I mean? Because
facts.
because you gotta understand both sides of it. So tough love is the best love, man. But like I said, man, I'm sorry and I apologize to everybody, who took my words the wrong way. But I commemorate those kids. I celebrate those kids, man. Those kids did something that was never done in the PSAL,
Yeah,
and they should be, you know, acknowledged. PSAL should have something for them, at the end of the school year, where they give them, some type of plaque or something, because that's something that is gonna go in the history books. You know what I mean?
yeah. Uh, we had supposed to have my guy Richie Cossack on here, one of the directors of the ABCD camp.
Oh
Um,
wow.
so first of technology. So he's me and him gonna have lunch with my coach one day, and I'm gonna do the interview that way. But he's
Oh
a
no, for
big,
sure.
big advocate for the PSAL. He's been sending me the updates from the beginning, and this we're having these small segment shows because he was feeding me a lot of the information, trying to figure out what was going to happen with the PSAL,
Yeah.
right?
Nah, I
And through
mean,
all
like
the
I
red
said, man.
team, and,
Like
and,
I
and,
said,
and it's a guy, and it's crazy, right? Because you talk about all these coaches who have some power and can stand up and have a voice, and it's a man who don't even look like us, who's fighting for these kids who they don't even know. Like this
right.
guy's in the background who kids never even met before, don't know, has power, and uses his power and influence to make something happen for them,
That's dope. Nah, man, that's
which
huge,
is
man. I
crazy.
think that's a big, that's a jewel right there that you dropped. Not for only just the youth, but for adults, is that you have to rub elbows and shake hands with people, man, because you never know, how they could come back and turn around and be a blessing to you, and be a resource. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, we go in rooms and we don't let people know who we are or what we do, and a lot of times opportunities get lost that way because people could just be like, they could just walk right by you, and
Yeah,
you never know how that person could affect your life, or maybe not your life, but affect people that you know and help them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's another thing, man. As New Yorkers, man, we got to do better at stop being so unapproachable, man. I'll tell people, man, just make yourself approachable to where people don't feel like they bother you, or it feels weird or awkward, trying to introduce themselves to you. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
we all need help. You know what I mean? We can be one man armies, we can be self made, but at the end of the day, you're gonna need help. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for
It's gonna come
sure.
a time. It's gonna come a time where you're gonna need help.
Right about that. My guy two picked me up, right? He said, yo, G, post this, our guy Tahron just went off. Now, let me tell y'all a little something about Tahron. You probably can tell us a little bit more because you're a
I
little bit more
love
personal
Tehran.
with him. Tahron came in with a lot of notoriety, right? And then the pandemic happened. And then people kind of fell back on him. And as a kid, you kind of figured out, damn, what is it me? Like, did my game switch up? What's the problem? What's going on? Not knowing all the politics that was going on, with that pool that they had going on in college. with the
The transfer portal.
portal.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on. Coaches losing their jobs. The pandemic happening, and if that didn't put this kid in the right state of mind, I don't know what that. He needed that. He needed to have a game like that to be like, I'm still Tahron, right? That same workout that you guys, the same mentoring that you guys been having, and letting them know that he's great. I wish he's feeling that right now.
Nah, for sure. Tahron is a beautiful kid, man, and he's been talented for a long time. He started out at St. Ray's, I believe, and then
Yeah, I know him when he's a freshman. I was there.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then but even coming into I appreciate you, G Money. But he was at St. Ray's, and was projected to be one of the top players in New York City,
Yeah.
from young.
Yeah.
And then he went to Brooklyn Collegiate and made a lot of noise. And I think, himself, Khalil Brantley, a lot of those guys, Jaquann Carlos, they was gonna have breakout, like they were gonna put a lot of
It
people
was
on
gonna
notice.
be crazy this
They
year.
was already on notice, but they was gonna put some more people on notice. And then when the pandemic hit and there wasn't really no AAU, people don't even understand that played a bigger part because you had a lot of colleges that probably were going to watch them during AAU as well. So I mean, the kid's a stud, bro. Like he's a 6'4" guard, can shoot the three, gets to the rim, he defends, strong, and the thing about him is he got toughness and he has an IQ. So, my thing is those are the kids that we want to see that the PSAL produce, right? Like the Gary Irvins, like the kids that came straight from the PSAL and went to 4-year colleges and had 4-year careers. That was my thing. Same thing with Jaquann was gonna do. You know what I mean? Jaquann gonna have a stellar career at Hofstra playing under Speedy Claxton.
Yeah.
So it's like you want to see those stories kind of take fruition and transition because those kids are ready. They're ready right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we don't pump those kids enough. Rest in peace to Tom Pachowski, who used to cover all of the basketball, and did all of the scouting reports and rankings and all that. But we need more people to step up and take care of Phil his shoes. You understand
Who's
what I'm saying?
going to do that? Yo, we had this discussion. Thank you, the Most High. I was talking about the other day, the power of speaking positive thoughts. We had a sit-down discussion with Tiny Martin, Ray Haskins, John Johnson, and Rob Hofer
Whew.
about Tom
Legend.
Kachowski. And I thought I lost the footage, and we finally found the footage. So that'll be out soon. But we talked about that. Tiny said, yo, G, it's crazy that we're here celebrating Tom Kachowski, right? Again, another man who don't look like us, but always fighting to help kids that look like us, right? Who is going to be in that position when we don't even trust each other?
Yeah. But that's the thing what I'm saying, bro. Family, it's like our own people be so quick to shoot the next person down when all the person is trying to do is do something organic and to uplift the basketball culture. You understand what I'm saying? See me, I wear many hats. Like I don't, you can't put one thing on myself, right? But people will take things and try to twist and turn things and not build somebody up, right? Like Tom Kachowski was so much in the back, but he was so powerful. Somebody like Tippy, right? You take
Yeah.
Tippy. Tippy, somebody who Tippy don't want no credit, but Tippy goes above and beyond for every single kid in New York City, even if he don't know you. You
I see
understand what I'm
him.
saying?
Yeah.
Even if he don't
Right.
know you, and this is a Caucasian man who love our colored people. You understand what I'm saying? But like you said, who's gonna step up? Who's gonna take notice? Big shout out to my big brother Bingo who just checked in, man. That's one of my mentors. I gotta stop and say, I love Bingo, man. I love you, man. Thank you for everything you did for me. But we need more pioneers and we need more ambassadors to come to the light to make sure that this thing keeps going. You understand what I'm saying? And
Yes.
there's no disrespect to the new guys. The new guys are doing a great job. The new guys are keeping everything in motion. But you have to be taught, you have to be schooled, you have to
Yep.
be trained, you have to be properly prepared to do these things and to be in these roles, because if you don't do it, then you're gonna come from a biased point, and nobody
Yep.
wants that. So big shout to Nate Blue. You know, Nate Blue does a great job with his rankings and things like that. But we need somebody else that's gonna get these kids on the map. That's what
That's
we're
right.
missing. We don't have nobody that what do you call that? That's documenting and that's collecting this data to get to these coaches. So we got the talent. New York City never had the talent. We will have. You can find a kid in the park that's nice. That's how New York is. But we have to get the proper people to get the information out there to the right people.
I'm willing to collab. I tell these young guys, you know, my guy at Hoop Dreams NYC, you
That's
know,
my
always
man.
talk to my guy Ron Super for A Game, my guy All Things Hoop Cal. I said, yo, we got these platforms, man. And listen, I'm not here to step on nobody's toes. I'm not here trying to be famous from nobody, fam. I'm here doing the work that needs to be done. That's all I'm doing, right?
Right.
That's it. Somebody needs to do it. So whatever we need to do, I'm willing to get behind people. Whoever's going to do it, I'm going to support you and have a way we can do it to make this better, because I think there's been a plan put together to destroy high
That's what
school
I said,
basketball.
Bingo. Right.
Now, it's a slow process. Nothing's never quick. It's always slow, right? And when things like this happen, I just sit back and say, damn, okay, what's the
I'm
next 10 years going to look like?
yeah. I'm gonna give free game, right? And again, I'm almost like a, people think I'm young. I'm not young. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the game doing on this side for the last 10 to 15 years. You know what I mean? But we need another time, right? We need a PSAL team camp during the live period where all of these college coaches could come and watch these kids. We need another 5-star in New York City or ABCD type camp where all of our top kids in New York City can be showcased. We need these things. These things don't happen anymore. You don't have ABCD no more. You don't have the elite 5-star camps no more. So who is going to step up and be the person to say, yo, listen, this is a platform for not only you can come in and bring your team, but we can do another one where we take the top 100 kids in New York City and get them to go against each other, like how we did in 5-star, like how we did in Eastern Invitational, like how we did in ABCD. And now you give these kids more lights and more eyes. But I can't do everything. You know what I'm saying? The powers that be can't do everything. We need people that if you say you care and you want to do something, these are things that haven't been done. We don't need any more tournaments. We have enough. We have over too many basketball tournaments.
You're
We
right. You're
have too
right.
many trainers.
You're right.
We have too many basketball trainers. Who's gonna step up and run a camp? Who's gonna step up and do these things? So that's my biggest thing. You know what I'm saying? Because me, I've been all over the place, in the basketball culture, trying to do a lot, but there's so much room, and like you said, everybody eats. You know what I mean? Everybody can eat, but we have to have people to take accountability. We say we want to help, but talk is cheap. You know what I mean? We have to put the actions to the talk.
I'm willing to do that, man. I think we should put our heads together. I got a few ideas in my head and a few people that I want to bring to the table can make that happen, man. Because listen, when that meeting that I put together with those minds that about Tom Kachowski, the conversations that was coming out of there that wasn't on camera,
It's crazy.
I said, man, if this happens, if this can happen, this would be crazy for New York City. Right? So you had
It'd be beyond crazy.
we was in a game over gym, right? So you got
E Hicks,
Tiny,
big shout out to
Bob
my man E
Hofer,
Hicks. E Hicks, that's my
Ray
guy.
Haskins, and
But
they
those,
was
but those,
talking.
but those is legends, man. And I think, you know, sometimes, and me, man, I don't know. Like I said, I'm old school, But you gotta educate yourself, man. Because sometimes people will see those guys, and I tell my younger guys, man, no, do your homework.
Yes.
Know your history, because these is guys that have been through the fire and came out of the fire still the same way. You understand what I'm saying? And I think we need more people to go through those guys. Like, don't have so much pride to where you don't have a conversation with a tiny. If you're a basketball coach in New York City and you haven't reached out to Bingo or Tiny or Bud or the list goes on and on. You know what I'm saying? So
Bingo,
you
I need to
doing
get
something.
you on here, fam. I need to get you on here, fam. Definitely.
Yeah, you gotta get Bingo on there. But yeah, man, like you gotta educate yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the gym
Yeah.
with Book Richardson every day. And I'm in the gym with him every day because I'm learning. It's like going to a college or a master's. You know what I'm saying? Because I know
Facts.
basketball very high. I have a very basketball high IQ. But when you could be around somebody that coach at that level, then it's like all you doing is becoming a sponge, gaining more information. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like our people don't want to do that. We need to take those protocols. It's just like when you go for a job, right? You don't become the manager right away. You have to
Facts.
work under somebody to learn how to become that. And I think that's where we skipping steps at. You understand what I'm saying? Big shout out to my boy Humble Zaire Williams, man, Wagner University, PSAL product out of Eagle in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying?
Salute. NEC in the building.
Yeah,
Wax,
man.
for sure.
But
I'm an NEC guy. Fairly
yeah.
decent.
But
No
yeah, man, we
doubt.
got we gotta just take the right steps, man. About like I tell people, man, it's just the steps of life, man, is simple when you take the right steps. You know what I mean? So I could be on we could be on here talking all day, but this ain't my interview, man. I just want to tap
Nah.
in
Yo,
and
BG, listen,
show you
brother.
love.
You know you can pop in anytime. There's certain people that red light be flashing, and I never bring them in the room. You don't worry about that, fam. Never worry about that. So listen, I'm gonna
Much
run down
love.
some scores real quick, right? Because when you look at it and you hear about it, you like, well, who did they play? Thomas Jefferson played Spring Creek. No way in the I'm not gonna say that because that's what I'm not gonna put nobody down. But no way in hell would Bud ever schedule a game against Spring Creek.
Right.
Maybe a warm-up game, maybe a scrimmage, maybe if that, probably they JV.
But
Bud
you
is
said
not
it. But
doing
you
that.
said it. Not to cut you off, but you said it right, right. And this was, again, I'm a man. I'm a man that I hold myself accountable. And I said some things yesterday that I had to retract back. And I love what you said. You can't control who you play. You know what I
Fact,
mean? And at the end of the
fact.
day, right? Because my thing was, if I'm a coach and I'm playing that type of team, then I'm gonna prepare my younger guys to get them better. But I agree with what you said as far as that's a senior, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's somebody who gave you 3 years of they blood, 4 years of they blood, sweat, and tears. You can't let up. You know what I mean? And again, like you said, you can't control that. You know what I
Yep.
mean? You can't control that. Like I said, just to play devil's advocate, I just feel the PSAL, and I know what they were trying to do because they want to only play schools in a certain amount of radius, but at the same time, it's just no, not fair. Nobody questioned the Ball brothers when they. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a
Right.
fact.
Right.
So
So
it's like,
yeah, but got
again,
you.
I'm,
Salute.
I'm always somebody, right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm gonna always come back and say I'm wrong, And like I said, the way my words had got twisted up, you never take away what the kids did. You understand what I'm saying? Because they don't control who they play.
Yep.
They gonna just go out there and play, and then in basketball, you're not taught to let it up. You're not taught to let up. You're not taught to take it easy or, take the foot off the gas. You're not taught that. So those kids had to do what they had to do. You understand what I'm saying?
And
And,
you
and,
only
and
got 6 games. We know that we can spread this shit out. We can't spread this out.
right,
I
right,
can't go with my young guys and not let my senior play and let him go into the Division One program, let somebody else bully him and take his right. He needs to go in there with a certain amount of confidence.
right. No, for sure. So again, like you said, it's man, it's we have to celebrate them. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's you have to celebrate them and leave everything else for another day. You know, one of my colleagues told me, you know, and like I said, I'm always somebody who, if I'm wrong, I'm a man up to say I was wrong. You know what I mean? And it's a time and a place for everything, right? So at that time and that place, it's about celebration. It's not about debating on what could have did this, what could have did that, why they didn't do this, why they didn't do that. That's the time and the place is wrong for that. We can talk about that another day. But right now, it's time to talk about what these kids did and what they did for New York City because they're from New York City. So we have to. It's kind of almost like we did it, right? It's like
Yep,
if somebody you know do something, you feel like you almost did it. You understand what I'm
man.
saying? So it's about celebration, man. Let's keep these kids, man, locked in, and let's make sure we keep supporting them, supporting basketball heads, and it's always love, man.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man.
All right, bro.
Always, always. Salute. Listen, I know my guy, Coach Malcolm, wouldn't have scheduled a game with Bushwick and be like, okay, we're going to take this serious, y'all, and we're going to. That wouldn't happen. PSAL scheduled them, and they smacked them 159-51. I know if I'm a kid my senior year, I see Bushwick on the list. Yeah, I'm thinking 50. Yep. Only got 4 games after this, 1 game after this, maybe. I got to make all these things count. Can't blame the kids. Can't blame the kids. Can't blame the kids. Wings smack Longwood Prep 100-61. Jay Shane Woodard had 31 points, 20 rebounds. I'm quite sure he was looking to have a good game that night. Look at this close one. Cardoza and Jackson. Well, Campus Magnet, right? We still call it Jackson. 47-40. Tight game. Tight game. Jalen Simmons, top scorer, 18 points. We go down. Brooklyn Law and Tech, 93 all-city leadership. Never heard of them, but BK Law and Prep smacked them. BK Law and Tech smacked them, 93-42. My young guy, Jaquann White, Cookie Head son, 23, 5 3-pointers. Jordan Johnson, 12 points, 10 rebounds. Kid lives in my building. Gotta show him love. Ron Whitehead, 14 points, 10 rebounds. Right? So we could go on, and it's crazy. We got Mary Burcham beating Seward Park, 80-74. Top scorers, Rashawn Chapman, 25 points, 15 rebounds. Terrence Porter, 15 points, 10 rebounds. Aaron Parker, 10 points, 10 rebounds. These kids are balling. They're letting it all hang out. Listen, like I said earlier, and salute to my guy BG, man. It's always love and always respect what you do. But as he was saying, we got to start celebrating our kids. No matter what the situation, they're put in these situations and they come out smelling like roses. So I'm going to salute to all the kids in the PSAL, in the Catholic School League, private school, wherever you play. Salute to you. Know you had a short season. I know a lot of things are taken away from you. But hey, you got the summer. Have some fun. Make sure you get on your workouts. You attend your games. Be there early. Be ready to play. And now you understand how serious this game is. Because in life, anything can happen. And it can change like that. So, with saying that, I want to give a big salute to my little cousin, Tristan Man Davis. We're going to work. We definitely going to work. Got that workout plan for you too. And we're going to put it together. So you stay focused. And hopefully one day we'll be talking about you up here like this. But until then, I'm your host, Glenn Pooh Harding, and you've been watching Basketball Heads. We are the official home for New York City basketball. Peace.